Hi everyone. Hey, hopefully you've had some time to play around with the pen tool and different brushes, various sizes, various colors, various layers to experiment a little bit. We're going to go over a little bit more advanced techniques to finish off this design. All right, so again, as normal, let's go ahead and start off with another layer here. And let's check to see what brush we have in our hand. We have ourselves, oops, Control Z. That did not add a new layer. All right, layer one. And I'm going to call this, I'm just going to double click. Let's call this white 2. And let's go ahead and check our brush. All right. I'm going to go ahead and decrease the size a little bit. Left bracket, left bracket, left bracket. And let's see, a little bit smaller. How about that? Control Z. All right. Switch back to our pen tool P. And we're going to go ahead and how about maybe right through the middle here? I don't know. Experiment. If you don't like it, like I said, we could always turn it off. All right. So there's a path right there. Let's go ahead and right click. We're going to go ahead and stroke that path. Go and click OK. And we're not going to get rid of this path actually. Before you hit enter, before the path disappears, let's go ahead and edit it just a tad. I'm going to hold control on my keyboard and we're actually able to move these anchors a little bit. I'm going to stretch this guy out a little bit and I'm going to come over here to this anchor and stretch this guy out just a little bit. And how about we move the tip down just a little bit. All right, now before we stroke this path, I'm going to go back to my brush tool, P for brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go a little bit smaller, a little left click on my keyboard, and let's go ahead and turn the flow down maybe to like 80%, and the opacity, let's turn that down a little bit. All right, and you can actually check where you're at there, Control Z, and I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more actually. Go back down to 50% opacity, Control Z. All right, so that's my brush. But I can go back to my pen tool, P on your keyboard, right click, stroke path, go ahead and click OK or enter on your keyboard, and there we go. So we're using the same path multiple times. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Again, to change the path that is already existing, hold Control on your keyboard, which is CTRL. It doesn't really say Control. And let's move this path out just a little bit. And move this anchor out just a little bit. And again, let's move the end of it down and out a little bit. All right, but I want to go lighter one more time. So back to my brush, click B on your keyboard, and I'm going to go a little bit smaller, left bracket, and let's turn the flow from 76 down to about 47, and let's go ahead and check that. And it's even a little bit lighter. All right, back to my pen tool, P for pen, right click, stroke path, go and click OK. All right, so we're just going to leave it at that. That's just for this learning process. Hopefully you could use this in a unique way. Like I said, let's go ahead and enter. I'm going to try one other method, kind of using the same technique that kind of works out. I don't even know if I like that one. I'll probably end up turning that one off. That one didn't come out as great as I thought. Let's go ahead and add a new layer here. And I'm going to switch to my brush, increase my brush size, and let's go ahead and, how about we add some blues in here? That's very light, Control Z, that's because I had turned my opacity down. To turn that up, turn the flow up, there we go. Control Z, let's go even bigger than that. Oh, there we go, I like that brush, Control Z. So let's start off with a path, click and drag, and how about click and drag, just kind of make this a short one. All right, right click, stroke path, go ahead and click OK. And all right, so there's my start, but I'm going to kind of use this same path in a different way. Let's go ahead and go back to my brush. And instead of this big brush that I had, big blue brush I have in my hand, Control Z, let's go ahead and switch it to white and really decrease the size of it. Let's try that, Control Z. And that's the brush I have. Go back to your pen tool, P for pen, right click, stroke path, and go ahead and enter. So we have the same path used multiple times. You could apply several different strokes to the same path. Let's actually go back to our brush. And how about we go back to our green Nice bright green. Let's go left bracket, smaller, smaller. Yeah, something like that. Control Z. Go back to your pen tool, right click, stroke path, enter, and there we go. All right, so we see how that was. So we used one path with 3 different strokes, and if we don't like that, again, we could go ahead and turn it off, or again, experiment with your opacity. And also, if you don't like that, we can even change the layer order. Let me double click, and I'm going to call this blue 1. And sometimes it does change the looks of it if you change the order of your actual layers. So let's take blue 1 and drop it down here to the bottom. And kind of brings the other layers on top. All right. And I'm expecting you're going to be trying different things and find out, nope, I don't really like this. Well, let's go back to this second white one. Yeah. And Control T or free transform, free transform or Control T still does work for these if you want to go ahead and maybe just rotate the angle of this and have it change the angle, bring it up from the other side. How about we even change it and bring it through here? Sometimes just changing the location of a swirl can change the looks of your design. Boy, I'm not real happy with this at the moment. Let's go ahead and apply this transformation. You got to hit enter on your keyboard. Now let's go with the blue one. Let's move this guy over. Control T. Let's rotate it maybe over from the outside. Like I said, this is where you got to get creative and just try new things. Control T on your keyboard. Oops. Control Z. Rotate. How about bringing it from the top here? And I really think that one's way too bright. Let's hit enter on our keyboard and let's lower the opacity of this layer. All right, and we're gonna do one more technique. I'm gonna kind of add a new item to this one actually. Instead of using our pen tool, I'm actually gonna bring back the marquee tool. So let's go ahead and go to the marquee tool. And of course, before you start something new, be sure and add a new layer. I'm gonna call this circle 1. All right, on this one, we're going to hold shift. I'm going to draw a circle through here. And, oh, I forgot to mention. No, let's go Control D. I want to set this again. I'm on my marquee tool. I want to have it faded on the edge. I want to feather it so it's a little bit blurry like a spray can. Let's go ahead and take this feather to, let's change it to, let's try a 15 pixel feather. Let's see what that looks like. Let's go ahead and draw our lips. Hold shift. I'm going to right click, stroke, and I still have it on the green, and the width is 4. Let's go ahead and increase that. I'm going to make that like a 20 pixel stroke in green. Go ahead and click enter, and there we go. All right, now before we deselect this, which is Control D or right click deselect, I'm going to add another layer. This is circle 1. I'm going to add another layer here. All right, so I got circle 1. I should call this circle 1 green. And in this new layer, I'm going to call this circle 2 white. Now on this one though, I'm going to, let's go and switch our foreground color to white. I'm going to right click, stroke, but I'm going to decrease this down to like, how about an 8 pixel stroke here. And so it's going to be on top of the green, but a little bit skinnier. Go and click OK. I don't know if I like that. I think I want it a little bit less. Let's go Control Z. You could undo it. Right click. Let's go to stroke again. And let's go to a 5 pixel. Let's go a little bit tinier. All right. So there I've got that circle. Let's go ahead and deselect. Right click, deselect. And I'm going to add one more technique that I want you to utilize on this assignment is let's bring in some layer masks. So here I'm on the circle white. I'm going to go ahead and just add a layer mask to it. Just click on this and it'll add our layer mask, and you know how to cover things with a layer mask. That is with our black paintbrush. Let's go B for brush. Let's increase the size. I'm actually going to increase this fairly large to kind of get a fade. I want to fade the edges of this white out. So I'm on I have black, my hardness is turned down, and actually I'm going to turn the flow and the opacity. So this layer mask is applied lightly. And I'm just going to kind of, let's see, let's just do a little single click. It's kind of fading away that white part. Actually, that's probably a little bit too low on my flow and opacity. Let's turn this back up. And I'm just going to do a single click and single click there. And let me show you what's going on here. So what we're doing is this layer mask, right click, disable. We had that whole white stroke there, but I used the layer mask to just kind of fade it in to the green one. And that green's a little bit too bright for my likings now. Let's go and turn this layer down. Oops, Control Z, the wrong layer. Let's go to our green circle layer, go to the opacity, turn that down. All right, there we go. Let's turn on the rest of our layers. Let's see how our design's coming along. All right, I got a lot of work to do on this design. Not my favorite just yet. Let's go and add another layer and just kind of give it some little highlights if you want. Left bracket, left bracket, left bracket. Our flow and our opacity is turned all the way up for our brushes. What's on this layer? Well, nothing's on layer 1. I'm going to double click. I'm going to call this highlights. And let's just go and maybe add some little bursts, little light little bursts of light, little stars or something like that. Decrease. I don't know, you get the idea. And if you don't like it, go and turn this layer down. All right, so there's a few more techniques that hopefully will help you with your assignment. Remember, the colors and the shapes and the designs are up to you. Multiple strokes on a single path, multiple strokes on a single path, layer masks through here. Get creative and come up with something unique to you. Thanks for watching.